Hello, everyone, and a very warm good morning to all of you. Welcome to Season of Agents, a virtual event dedicated to exploring the dynamic world of intelligent agents, automation, and the future of AI powered productivity. Today, I am joined by Manjunath Janardhan, sir, who is a principal engineer at MSG Global Solutions, for his insightful session and requesting sir to take us on this journey of AI agents. The floor is all yours, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for the warm welcome to the show. I'll take it from here. Okay. So the year, if you see the year of agents, coming back to let's see in 2022, 2023, the ChatGPT came into picture, right? So that's where the ChatGPT came. That's the year of that. 2024, if you see, there came a RAG. RAG came and agents is about to came in, but 2025, everybody using with agents. If you call it all the business and everybody working with agents, we heard about MCP, we heard about A2A. Let's dive into deep with a live demo exactly what's happening in the industry and how we can also deploy agents very quickly with Azure AI Foundry. Without further ado, let's start. Let me share my screen. Okay. So there'll be, okay. So let's start with an example. I hope every screen is visible. Okay, we're going to see the AI agents in action. So we'll also will briefly talk about what are agents, why do we need it, and we'll take the real world use case with Azure AI. Okay, for just for an example, we'll take one of the product called Contoso Sales. Assume that we are in a company called a Contoso, and how the sales team will benefit by a real world example, how they can make the sales prediction or sales everything, do the visualization or everything. We'll see with us taking the example of Contoso sales. Actually, it's already introduced and has already introduced me already. So let's skip this slide, probably this slide. Let's set the stage scene for that. What exactly we are going to talk about. So let's the real world use case. So assume we are a multinational company. I'm a sales manager. Now I am going to sell our product is sell our outdoor camping equipments. It may be a camp, it may be a tent for outdooring one. So my job is to now to sales data to analyze the trends, what's happening in the sales, understand customer preference, and then make the business decision. Okay, one way to do it earlier before AI is that go to the sales data, maybe in the Excel sheet, it may be in backend SQL data, and then manually check, dump into the CSV file and do the analysis, right? Put a product graph and see how my company is doing, where the business is going fine, and go to the competitor's website and see my prices matches or not. So to do a lot of manual work, right? You should do the manual work 3 years before what if this is the same use case if I've been presented. But today we are in AI and agent AI. Let's see step by step how with the help of agent, we can streamline the entire business process with just a few lines of line connecting to Azure AI Foundry. So this is the use case. So first, let's go back to 2022 now. When the ChatGPT came into picture 23, how was LM was that time at useful? If that a time if a same use case been presented with no agents, with not much been developed like Azure AI agents or Azure AI was not there at that present, we are used to go direct to ChatGPT. I ask the question like I work in e-commerce selling company gear. Suggest me how can analyze my sales data, best analyze. So they will go to as a response. He's given me example to take Excel or take advanced tool like Power BI or Tableau and then visualize it. That's why we used to use it if a newcomer, new joinees are coming to the sales team. We should do that. But now we don't have to no longer have to do that. This is how in 2022 or 23 LLM used to help us. LLM is nothing but a large language model behind the scene ChatGPT, what it is running. Now coming to says what is the LLM powered AI agents now. So why the AI agent is required? Because it is semi-autonomous software design to achieve the goals without predefined steps. You don't have to do the steps what to do. You just give a goal. We'll see live in action. I will show the code also, how the code look like in everything in natural language. You don't have to do a Python or any code. In the natural language, we'll define the agent, what to do. Just semi-autonomous, okay, all are semi-autonomous agent, and also determines how to accomplish the task using instruction and context. So here we just give the instruction in plain English. Okay, we just give the instruction what to do, and we'll feed it dynamically, give the context. That the user will give the context for you, and we'll see how we can get the context from the database also. We'll see that. And also it should be useful for shift works definition from developers to the LLM. So now developers, we shift all our work to developer or a sales agent doing, we work, put all the work to the workflow to the LLM to handle. Instead of we as a developer to do all the code, to do the SQL query at the back end, get the data, we have all the work will give to the LLM. But one thing is very, very important. It requires clear instruction and effective prompt engineering. So without that, we cannot make the agent to be more reliable. It might give a wrong answer, it might hallucinate, or it might get wrong. So you should get very clear instruction based on what business case you are solving. Let's see our example, how the instruction would look like. Now, how can agent and help us now with this? Let's see. So let's see how does the context of first sales associated work first we'll understand then we'll go over step by step demo. Okay. So what first we'll go into what is Azure AI agent service. It's a fully managed cloud service with SDK and for Python and C Sharp. Currently, it supports for Python and C Sharp. It is a completed software development kit, okay, where you can put for Azure agents, and it's also simplified our agent development process. As I said, it's just a few lines of code. I will show you with very few lines of code we can make agent more intelligent. It will do more automation, around 90, 100, almost 100% automation can be achieved with only few lines of code. We'll see that. But currently, it is in public review. It's optimized for rapid deployment and scalability. That's the important point. So if you give us a task of sales agent, I can do it in another half an hour or 15 to 30 minutes. I can put it in, deploy it in Azure AI service. I'll show that, and also scales, put in the production. Imagine if you don't have a AI, if it doesn't have anything, you have to go to the Excel sheet to do it manually, how much longer effort will required. And also if you want to create a software out of it or something, a product out of it, it used to take a lot of design requirement. You have to put a lot of code, do the testing, put it in the pipeline. So all this can be done within 5 to 50, maximum 30 minutes. We'll show it. That is the beauty of the Azure AI agent. What are advantage I think already discussed. So it's a rapid deployment, it's a scalability, and also it's customer integration, and also it's a conversation state manager. It's take the conversation, what the agent has talked, it's continue the conversation, maintains the conversation. We'll see with RAG, what is RAG. We'll go to the live demo. We can do a rack style stress also. Also the built-in tools. We can connect to the Fabric, we can connect to the SharePoint, we can connect to Azure AI search integration. We'll show one of Bing integration. I'll show in the demo how we can integrate to the Bing search. So see the competitor, what is it doing without manually to go to the competitor website, collect the information and put, we can automatically go to the multiple competitors and get the automatically with the agent. We'll see that everything, each and piece, live action in live. So now what is landscape? The popular there in AI agent, if you see in 2023-24 came into picture, LangChain came with LangGraph. There is semantic kernel from Microsoft. There's a Crew AI. There is a AutoGen from the Microsoft, and so on. So where a lot too many agents are also coming currently. Why Azure AI stand out of this? Because it's seamless integration capability, which you will see, and also the SDK is optimized for rapid deployment without any much learning about LangGraph or Crew AI. Everything we can using this SDK quickly, rapidly can deploy without you to taking care of much of the burden of how it works and everything. Everything happens behind the scenes. We'll see that actually. Also, if you have any complex scenario, usually we do semantic kernel, AutoGen, and Azure Agent Server together. We'll do, but for the interest of time and for this session, we'll only concentrate on the Azure AI Agent Service. There is no AutoGen is involved. There is no semantic kernel because that will be a separate session if I want to take on semantic, and separate session would be an AutoGen. Being this is the first session, I will take it on Azure AI Agent Service as an independent entity to solve the business problem. This is looks like how the Foundry entire agentic service looks like. So we are going to touch upon Azure AI Service Bing search on this one. Fabric and SharePoint is not been taken this data for us. We just using, but we have the files. We do the file search. We have simple SQL data at the backend to do the demonstration. We can also bring your own file storage. We can bring your own search index also to it. We'll see what is the search index and everything. And then we are using the model catalog. Currently, I'm using GPT-4o for this demo. Of course, you can use a Llama or Mistral or Cohere or whatever available in the model which in the Azure Foundry playground, which I'm going to show you. So this is the higher level architecture of the Azure AI Foundry. So coming to the next, this is what the solution architecture of the application. I'm going to see the demo. So we have designed a chained application. Similar to a front-end application. Chained is a front-end Python application similar to Streamlit. We have a query function. Together, the sales agent has a query function, which in middleware talks, we have an instruction and the models. So I'll show you how to write an instruction and also models in the middleware. And then that calls the tools. The style that calls the tools at the back end. There's a function calling to call the SQL database. There's a code interrupter to dynamically run the Python code to plot a graph dynamically, which I will show in the demo also. And the file search, if you have PDF documents or any unstructured document to start a query like a RAG, we have a file search. We are grounding with a Bing search to do a search from the website. For maybe one example, to check for the competitor website, get the information and club it and do some analysis. So all this in will see live demo in action for this. Okay, this is the high level architecture of the demo which I'm going to select. This is our conscious sales agent application. Okay. So now this is again the same, the one solution architecture is given in the second way, where the Azure container application, everything is been containerized and put it in the Azure service running, currently is running the UI. At the backend, for this demo, we have a simple SQL data, 4,000 data for sales data, a synthetically generated data to show the how it works that actually talks with GTP4 and Assistant API in the Azure OpenAI. Okay, this is the higher level architecture of the demo, which I am going to show now. So coming to the first one by one. Now we'll take out one by one. As I told, we'll go with function calling first. We'll show the demo. We'll come back again. We'll show the code interpreter. We'll come back. We'll switch between the slides in the demo so that you can along the flow. You can follow what each individual actually does and what it means. So we'll first talk about the function calling. So why do we need a function calling first? So if you go to the LLM, if you ask to any of our internal data, it won't answer. It doesn't know about our console database, anything. If you just ask me what are the sales happened in quarter one or Q2, it's not able to answer because it's not been trained. So one way to solve this problem, we can fine tune it your data, your business data and do it, but that's very expensive to keep maintain every time. So that's what the people used to do earlier. Now we should not, we don't need to require because that's where agent coming to picture. What we do, we'll have LLM, we'll have agent in between, system between. Agent can talk to our internal database, SQL database. Together, all the three together work together to answer our business problem. We'll see how it in action actually. So function call is nothing but connects element to external tools. It can be any tool. It could be your SQL database or no SQL database or anything your company database. Anything your tool which LLM can understand actually. It empowers a agent with additional capabilities. So it can do more than that. We'll see how what it does more than that, what it is able to do, and also enable deep integration with application and LLM. So this is how we are to integrate. That's why the function calling came into picture, and it is for crucial for the real critical. It's actually critical for real world agent functionality. So agent to work, we need a function because we need to have a tools. Other word, the other some other like crew AI, they call us as a tools. Here we call it a function calling. Different will call us a different one. But remember, both function calling or tools are same. And MCP is the one of the tool. You heard about called model context protocol. You see everywhere. So tool can be your MCP also. Okay, tool can be your MCP, tool can be your function calling, it can be anything actually. Okay, tool. We can integrate MCP also, but in this case, we're not using MCP. We are using a typical function calling, connect directly to the our SQL database. So without ado, let's see the first demo of the how it actually the function calling works. So coming back to this one, this is the UI application which I was talking about. So this is our contours of sales. This is a UI chainlit UI. This is a similar chainlit UI actually. Okay, so here was the start asking the question. What we want. So let's ask our we answer this as we at the backend we have a sales database. Okay, so let's see the first database. What is the question? So we'll go back. We'll see just auction for what were the sales by the region. Let's ask the question. So by the region, I want the water sales happened. Actually, I'm not specifying any quarter or Q3. I'm asking to give the entire data. So now what will happen at the backend is use the function calling. Okay, at the backend it is the function calling. I got the data. So let's take what the function call is this. So if you see, it actually created a query. If you see select region, see it created a SQL query. It's created a SQL query. Okay, then it went back and got the answer from fetch the data from the database, and then this is fed to the LLM. Then it LLM able to understand it, given me a clear table format. It's giving me a table format, everything. Okay, this is the agent. Backend, the function calling agent went back. It did the text to SQL. The query what I have given here is converted to your text to the text to the SQL. LLM converted the SQL query, which our at the backend SQL can my SQL can understand. Means I have a SQLite database currently I have. So you got the result in this form. Typically, what your SQL gives the answer to, that is converted back to clear in production. LLM is converted back to over very quickly to the table and got the answer. So let's see how exactly it worked actually. Come back to our code. This is my Visual Studio code. If you see, this is the code app. This is the main app actually. This is the app I'm running. This is the app main app. If you see here, we just initially we'll show you how to get this actually. In the show is going to start with, you need a Azure API endpoint, we need a API key, we need a assistant ID, and we need a deployment. Okay, we'll see how to get this. Okay, we'll see. Then we're getting a sales data. I'm connecting to the Azure OpenAI. So what I'm doing in the chain is, if you see here, the clear instruction. So instruction I'm taking from here. As I told in the beginning, we need a clear instruction. So if you see, this is my instruction here. So advanced sales agentic engineering. This is what LM will understand. Okay. So you need to tell clearly what your role is. Okay. And what is the audio? I see the contours is a online, outdoor, camping, and sports gear retailer. It will be very clear. And also to other tools you can use, I can use sales data assistant. That is our database. I'm asking through ask database function. So I'm already implemented ask database in the code, which I'll show you. So it will go and call to get the SQL query. Okay, we'll go to the visualization later. So assume only concept only this. Only currently I'm doing a function calling. So I've written the first one. The first tool I'm telling it use the sales database, use the sales database defined in the schema. This is the schema which already defined. Okay, all the queries must go through this one. So all the query must go through here. So per aggregated result by default. Okay, limit the query to 30. If you see the 30, if you see the UI of the C is limited 30. You can observe here the limit is 30. Why? Because I'm clearly give the instruction saying that limit the 30 rows. You can make it to 10 or 20 based on your business requirement. It's up to you. But remember, for every row data, it cost for a tokens. You keeping in the mind the tokens what goes for 30 rows means you'll get a lot of tokens, output token, and also for the LLM context also. So remember that and decide based on your based on a business requirement. So also never generate a query return zero. Ask the user more specific about everything we're giving clearly. If the user asks for more than 30, respond with the refusal. Because this is also again optional. If you want ask to go to 100 also if user, you can delete this instructions. It won't go beyond. But when in this case for simplicity, we added not to go to more than 30. And see clearly marked down table. By default, you always give a table format unless they're specified visually. Okay, this is what the instruction is. If we go back to the app, this is what the instruction I'm reading. These are commented. So instruction we got. Then we need to put a tool sheet actually. So we are currently we are not using any of these tools. Okay, we are only using this tool, the third tool. This is the tool. This is a tool. If you see clearly, it goes to the database. I'm telling you exactly. This is the tool you are using now. So you have to define your instruction clearly, and also we need to provide the tool. If you see my slide in the middleware, there is something called instruction, something called the model, and also there is a tools right at the below. This is the tool. The next layer. So I'm talking about the below layer of the tool list. You need to clear it. If suppose if you not add this, it won't work. Okay, now for now, let's forget this two. We are not into it. So we have added a one tool here to do the required search. So there's not much of code required here. If you see the hardly it says only two, and this all for chain it application front end code actually. In the back end, we don't have much code. All is returning just a tools. It's all in natural language only. Or the description, everything clearly written. This is about the function calling. We can start ask a follow-up question also here, like what was the quarter revenue, which were best in Europe, or total shipping cost by region. See, now this will do the computation now. We see the next question. Again, does the function calling. Let's have the follow-up question. Total shipping cost by the region. And again, these are everything deployed in my Azure Foundry, which I'll show you now. So by see every region, how much it is happened. Let's see how it calculated here. So did a query, total shipping cost from sales a group by or a total shipping disagreement 30C. Is automatically give the query based on the user question. All this data fetch very quickly without writing a single line of backend code. I not written any backend code here. Everything is agent is taking the picture. Now you might ask a question how to design this. So let's go back to the Azure Foundry. So if you search for if you go to azure.com, a.azure.com or search for Azure Foundry, you will get a blank page. You won't be seeing this too. Okay, you will get something like this. work like a project, you'll get something like this actually, along with this table. The first thing is to create a project. The first step is create a project. Currently, I'm created a agent workshop for this project. Then once you get the project, you will be prompted the window here. So everything, whatever happens is in same window. You don't have to go to the portal.azure.com, nothing is required. So everything they made a bring the single umbrella. If you're working in AI, you have to come to the Azure portal and start working here. So you'll get a service and API key will be given and what is the endpoint. This is important to put it in the code. I will show you where to put add this entry. So this is the first you get to Azure Foundry at the high level looks like. So for first step is first. As you go, you can't use anything. You have only have API key and the resource. But first thing is you need to give the model. First thing is you need to go to the model catalog and select the model whichever for your use case is required. There is a playground, and first you have to deploy. You cannot use directly any of the models right away. The first thing in Azure AI Foundry is you have to first deploy the model, get the endpoint, get the API key. For that, you can directly go to model plus endpoints. Currently, if you see, I have deployed two models, which I'm currently using GPT-4.0. For you, it may be empty. So first thing is click on deploy model, follow the wizard, and deploy whichever model you want and get the API key. So if you go to the AJ model, you'll get the API key in the endpoint. You take that actually. See, this is my target URL, this is my API key. So it will give what is this is the version. See, these three parameters important. Grab this API version, endpoint, and credentials. So this all is required, nothing else. So this is the first point. First point is go to Azure Foundry, create a project, and first thing is create a model. Without that, you cannot do the AI agentic work. So now you got the model. You don't need data and anything. You don't need anything. Directly go to the agents. You need an agent. Now, first thing is if you go to the agent, you won't see anything here. For your case, it will be new. Click on a new agent. Okay, give any name and take this agent ID. This is very, very important because we need to create an agent to talk to your SQL, to talk to your outside source like Bing search. You have to do right. You need an agent. So just grab this ID. So grab this ID, give any name, any name. For my demo, I'm using this one, Consortia agent, which yesterday I've created. I'm using this assistant ID in my code. Since I'm not doing anything, I'll just go back. I want to, since I'm not doing using this, I'll just go back actually. Okay, this is the first step. First step, remember, first go to a Foundry, get the model, get the agent. That's all you have to do from this Foundry. The rest, everything we can manage in the code. We can club the agent to start working. The agent will work for you. And deployment automatically selected GPT-4.0 because I already have GPT-4.0. If not, you can select to mini. You can select based on your whatever you have configured in your model. You can select here. Currently, I have only two. I can select either of this. Once that is done, you save it. Already said. Take this, copy this agent ID. So this the setup is required. Get the agent ID. Get the set the model up and running ready and grab the your API endpoint, your for model endpoint and what is the version, what it should. That's the requirement, bare minimum required to start doing it. So that's all thing I've added in the code. If you go back to my environment developer, I can't show it because that's what I'm added actually in the environmental code. That's how it is. See, Azure OpenAI version assistant ID. This is the what I told about agent ID. Assistant nothing but agent ID, which I added in the .env. And this is my deployment. We'll see what the deployment is. And API version, these three things I showed you, how to take the endpoint, API key, and API version. That you'll get from GPT-4.0 when you deploy it or any other model. So grab this and make it ready. And this is what we connected. This source code is available. I will share at the end of the session to the link. You can also try with your own Azure account. Only thing is you can take the examples. You copy this examples.env. Copy. There is a examples.env here. So this is the example one. So I copy to env. Just have to fill this information. Just have to fill the information, and you can start just doing the demo. Make the code changes required. You can expand this actually. You can do it yourself, which I will show you later. So from this, let's go with the next back to the slide. This is about the demo on the function calling and how it works. So next thing, the function calling is fine. It okay, good. But what about if you have a data like PDF, some document like you, for example, say if you have PDF document where you have product information which is not available in database. I have a big PDF document having my what are tent I'm going to sell, what is the company, what it is a outdoor tent or it's an indoor tent or a camping tent. All information is my in PDF format, but it's not in there. But I want some customer from sales agent and somebody talked. I want this my PDF to get the data. So how to feed the data? That is where grounding with documents come into picture. That's where RAG come into picture. That is retrieval argument generation. For traditionally, if you go without this, you have to create a RAG out of it. You have to create a vector, select the vector database, create a RAG, chunk the documents, convert into the markdown format, chunk it, and then put it in the database and then connect it. So a lot of work and you involved for this, right? If you want to do the RAG style, you RAG and everything if you want to do and select which tag. Do you want IB RAG? Do you want what type of the RAG you want to include? So a lot of time will be spent on developing that application itself. But with this, within a 2 minutes, I can get up and running without much spending on time and how to chunk my document, how to put on the vector DB. No, not all required. Everything will be taken by the agent. The agent will take for us all the things. So let's see in the action how it does actually. Okay, let's go to the demo directly. Then I will show it what is happening. So this is the document I have. I will show my 10 data sheet. This is a PDF. This my PDF. It is not in SQL database. I have only sales data. This is my product name. I have a category. It's a camping and hiking. I have a product type and brand and also a description. I have a full description of the document. Same thing. I have totally three. I have a three document description, which is not in the database. I want to create a RAG and then so if the user asks or sales ask anything question here, you should be able to fetch the data. So how to do it quickly? Straightforward, simple. Let's go to the demo first and then I will show how to do it. So come back to my assistant here. So what I will do, I can just to make sure that my context reduce because see whatever you ask the question, when I follow up question, what will happen typically, since in the same page, everything will go to the LLM actually when I ask okay. So unnecessary my token will charged because unnecessary tokens will be giving back to here, which is not required for me to do at this step because not asking a follow-up question. I'm entirely different question apart from this. That's why I'm going to get a new chat. Remember, you have to create and make sure that your LLM will have a clear instruction not to give back a previous history to the our chat. So that's why I cleared the chat. So that's I'm starting a new chat. Let's go to the RAG. So first I will ask without doing anything, what brands of trends do we sell? But if you see it might reject, it doesn't. I'm unable to assist with that. Please contact IT for the further assistance. That's right, because we are not given the data to it to start doing the vectorized and get the information. The quickest way what we can do is click on the attached document. I will take the PDF, okay, and then simply now I will ask the same question now. Now we'll see what will happen now. I'll show in the code what's happening in the behind the scene. The agent how it kicks, how it started creating this. Now first thing it did uploading a file. Yeah, the backend the agent starts. So agent, I will show the code and instruction for that, how it is done. First, the agent start uploaded, it created embedding and added everything covered, and then it started answering my question. If you see, the brands, the trends we sell include outdoor living and alpine gear, and also giving a source citation from where it is coming, see, from this document. So let's see how this time I will to answer the question. It's simply uploaded. Now it is part of the agent database. It is already put the vectorized at the backend. It has happened. Let's see in action how exactly it does. So coming back to the code, if you see my instruction, if you go back to here, the file search is good. Let's go to here, this one, yeah. So, okay, sorry, go to the app first. The instruction is similar, same thing. For visualization is we're not done, we leave it. The file search tool is a product info have uploaded file. See, this is the tool. So here you need to go to this section. Use the file search. We'll see how the file search look. Tool to retrieve product information from uploaded files when relevant. So we uploaded the file when relevant and prioritize sales database over the file upload all responding. See, always I'm telling, first check the database first. If it is not there, then fall back to the your uploaded file. I'm telling only these two. You are done with the setup actually. But come back to the code now. If you go to the tool, you go back to the just you need to add the tool. As I said, everything remains same. Now we'll add a tool type that is called file search. We just put the file search here. Since we are not doing the function here, this is for database. We'll just add a file search tool so that it can go and talk to the instruction and get get from the backend. Okay. So if you go here, this is the sales data which I've added it. Okay. If you go to the instruction which already done main and app is there and this is the main function. This is the app. So all this one create assistant. This is a creating assistant actually. So here is what we actually defined everything in the assistant. Clear. This is the instruction we are given again for a database schema, and it is a tool set. Again here also you have to add it here. This is where we are going. While creating assistant, this is how it creates the assistant in the backend. So that's all you have to do. Nothing else. Put the instruction. Put the tool because we already created the agent ID, right? In example, since I already have an agent already, that will take care automatically to do the job. You don't have to write a single line of code to get up and running. What's your demo? All it will do is just specify the file h2. That's off. It will take care of everything because agent knows what is that. If you go back to the my Azure Foundry, here if you see the tools, see this is what I'm telling concept agent. But if you do manually, it will assess the function call files, everything will be manually. See, this is the agent for other demo I have used where I specify what the tools access, but it is blank, but perfectly fine because I'm doing it programmatically. If you're not doing the programmatically, you need to define here the tools from where the knowledge is coming. You need to keep add the knowledge, add the action manually. If I'm doing it without coding, if you want to do it manually, everything, no need to code. If you put everything, I can directly connect to here, but you need to specify manually like this. I will show this one, which I manually added the event. I uploaded two action and grounding with Bing search, everything I've added. See the same file I've added here, account supporting information. You can do two ways. One programmatically, non-programmatically also you can make it everything ready, copy this, and you don't need to tell that how to do that everything. Just tell the agent to use this tool is enough because everything instruction is written here clearly. All the instruction is written clearly inside the agent itself. You can do two ways, either do it in here or do it in programmatically, which I shown. So currently we are using this one. I'm currently using this. It doesn't have any instruction because I'm programmatically I'm feeding the injecting the instruction. I'm not having any tools here. If you see if it's zero, it is zero, but still fine because I'm doing it directly from the coding part. I'm telling from the coding agent only what to do. So two way we can achieve this problem for this problem solution. That's about the grounding with the documents. Now next coming to picture, because we did the grounding, we did everything is fine. Now next question is, suppose what if you want to analyze, I want to get a graph, a bar chart or a pie chart. Usually every things we like business will like we like not in the table, which I shown. Right? They always like to see what's happening, whether you're going with a bar graph or bar chart. Those kind of what we can do is best of storytelling, best of way we present, right? Rather than a table. You are rather than presenting too many table, if you put in the graph, that is what mole tells about what's happening, which the department is doing well, which of the department want to improve. That is the way the visualization is really better, right? That is well, we need a code interrupter. Why do you need a code interrupter? Because when you if you somebody in the natural language, if you ask for a pie chart, LLM can't do it directly. It has to call the code interrupter. It could be Python or anything. Usually we use the Python code interpreter that dynamically creates the Python code. We'll show in the live how it does. LLM will create the code and then render the PNG or JPEG it comes, then it will render and give to the user. So if you want to do it manually, it will take a lot of work if you want to do it, code it. But LLM does automatically. We'll see how it does. Let's go to demo and then we'll go to the code. Okay. So this is the code inter. Let's see. For example, I'm asking show sales by region as a pie chart. Okay. So now again, since this is not a follow-up question, this is entirely a different one. I'm putting as a new chat, new confirm, and asking the question, show the sales by region as a pie chart. So what? Let's see step by step what will happen. First, you use the function to get the SQL at the backend. Then it went to code interrupter because to draw the graph, to draw the pie chart. So it takes some time and then I got the pie chart here. Okay, sales by the region. Let's see how it got this one. First is of course function. As I previously told, it does the SQL query. So it did a SQL query based on my natural language. What I asked, select the region sum. It's automatically summing all the revenue as a total revenue. It is as a total revenue from sales data group by region. Because my question was show sales by region as a pie chart by regions. That's why it converted automatically text to SQL. That is done, but you'll get this data like this. But user is not asking this data. User asking me a pie chart. So what will does, the agent will think, okay, since user is not, the agent will go kick in and agent will call code interpreter automatically behind the scenes. Right now writing a single line of code. So it went to the automatic imported a matplotlib. It went to the region. How this region it got this from the this data. It created automatically. It took the values perfectly, and then it just plot the figure for us. This is what behind the scenes it happened to give me this figure, complete picture. See, without writing a single line of code, just added a tool. Just added a tool to use this what to do. First, add a one line instruction saying that if you, I will show you that how to do that actually. I will not shown. Just with a one line, I can just tell them to create this graph at the back end. Let's jump into this one. I'll see where it is actually we do. We'll go back to our instruction. So this is the visualization. If you don't have this, it won't work. If you suppose I delete this, it will never work. I cannot do visualization because I'm telling the instruction clearly, write and test the code in your sandbox environment for visualization. When I ask you a pie chart, LLM will understand, okay, he's asking a pie chart means it's a visualization one. So automatically LLM will go here. So we're telling the agent to write a test code in your sandbox environment because we create a secure sandbox. At a runtime, it creates a secure sandbox with all the Python code and required libraries installed for the visualization. Use the user language preference, example, chart at labels, display successful visualization or retry upon error. Suppose there is some error. Suppose while having some math probably where some syntax error happened because LLM might not be 100% accurate, right? It must hallucinate. Then it retries. It understands, does the agent, right? It automatically retries, correct the error and come back. So never include any visualization file path annotation in the re-response. I don't want the file path to be shown to the user where exactly at the backend I'm showing. Otherwise, you'll show me a file path where is exactly at the created at my backend. So this also I have to add. Then nothing else. Let's everything remains the same. Go back to your app code. If you see in the app code, we just adding a one more tool for the visualization. Just add the I think for visualization we don't require because anyway this because that is goes by code interpreter. Is no need to require here. No need to add anything here. The instruction nothing is required. Even only we need in instruction.txt. So that's how we're going to build step by step. Only this is enough because LLM can understand how to use it. We're already telling to use sandbox conversion and code interpreter. It goes and does it actually. We don't need even in the event handler, not in the event handler. Sorry, even we don't need in the main also mails or create assistance also. We are not required here. So only you will just write a code interrupter. At least in tool is you have to put a code interrupter. Only here is required, not in instruction. We just add a code interrupter. Enough. So that will take care of everything. So rest everything means same. Just you adding a code interrupter here. So these are the tools. We are telling that the agent, these are tools available. You pick the best based on the user question. The agent will pick the best tool based on the particular problem what is user is asking. So in this case, it is two tools, right? Because it is two tools. One is about the function calling. It does went to the search and is a code interrupter. File set is not done because I never asked anything for the file. In this case, it does two. If you see in the UI also, you can see clearly it calls it two function. Use the function calling and convert together because it requires both to work. But did we define anywhere to use first function? No. That is was in the first in the previous. If I see my slide clearly tell it will you know to define the rules. It automatically take care. You just tell what has to be done. The automatically the LLM and agent will take care. He knows first I want to do the function calling and then do the code interruption without writing a single line of code, just adding a one and the instruction, I'm able to get this up and running. Like that, you can keep story extended to the next level also. Okay, that is fine. Everything is okay, but everything cannot be in English, right? I'm currently we're in India, so suppose I want my native language. I may be in Telugu, Tamil, or Kannada, or I may be in Hindi. I want, or maybe French, I may be in French or in Chinese, or I need a different language. So the source can be done with even a single line of code. To implement the multilingual, to make that, first we'll see the demo, then we'll see how we implement it very quickly. The next step is slowly how we building one by one by one. Okay, let's go back to the one. Now all I have to do is I can put the same question, I can follow the same question here, but for a chart it doesn't working. So what we'll do, we'll take a new one, we'll ask the question about the sales and put it in the language. For example, we'll ask for this question. Okay, while asking the question, okay, what are the sales in current region? I can specify here also in Hindi. I will tell you why other language. Currently I added only support for 4 languages for this demo. I'll show you how to add that also. So now see everything came in Hindi. Okay, so it came in Hindi. See, and so just ask him. Now you can ask him in Hindi what are the sales by there. You can tell. Or in the beginning only. Now all the follow-up question will be in Hindi only. If you see all the follow-up question will be in Hindi because already in Hindi I can give this one. Which products sell best in Europe? Let's see. Okay, now it automatically it will be in Hindi. See, so this is the European products. What the sales is give me everything in Hindi. See. So if you see the function calling, it will be same. You get the query in English only. Okay, for this is the function calling in the below. The function is same. See, in all I asked for in this select a product and revenue for all the GSC product, all the these are the products we're going to sell on that particular region. What I ask in Europe. So how to achieve this? So come back to the code now. So for this, let's first go to the instruction. So if you see the instruction here, we are telling that here you not much in the instruction. I think if you see the multi we have based on the language we specify it will work, I'll show one thing. Okay, one query the user list of items by region. This example we were given. Okay, this is fine. If you go with the region, I've added only few support in the main. Let me show it not in the main. Let's go back to the create assistant or is app.py. Yes, yeah, here. So here we added a few of the things we added where we only currently what are the font, because you have to download a font actually. You have to get the font and then you have to upload. Okay, if not here, I'll go to the backend code. I'll show this in the backend code. It's not here. So if you see here, okay. So here for the font, you have to load, you have to upload the font file. Okay, okay. See, this is the backend code which I have actually added in the run. Let me open my code space again because it got timed out. Okay. So now go back to the files. So if we go back to the files here, okay, yeah. So if you see, there's a font. Okay, I will show there are the shared, yeah, shared, not files, fonts. See here, if you see here, I have the fonts of only few I have added. With the zip I've added only for few I got. So I got it for Hindi only. So I added the Hindi font. This is taken from the internet directly, GitHub. I taken and then added the font here. Okay, this is the font.zip. If you go inside the font.zip, there is only 4 or 5 language I have that I added it in the, yeah, I added it in the font. That's why you're able to understand only those fonts. If you want in any other language, you can go to the multilingual. We need to add that particular font actually. Then it will work. So currently I have English, French, and Chinese, the language to respond. What is the localization? Which I already have, it automatically picks up. I'll show that actually. I'll share the source code. We can follow the instruction how to get this font up and running. If I delete this font at the backend, it won't work. It doesn't work. Okay, so that's the multilingual. We'll add one more. I want to the next show before going to the next one. So there's one more call. We can actually get it like this. Let's see, not code interrupt. Let's go to here. Okay, now I'll show the sales. Let me ask this question now. So I can do one more thing. Okay, let's go to the new chat. Okay, um, now show the okay. Let's see. Now show the sales of the okay, backpacking tent by region and include the brief description in the table in the east tent. Okay, this is already there in the my help also. So it has used the function. It give me the this details. Now this is okay, but usually we want to further interrupt, or if we want to do something, if we want to put it next, like if we want to do Power BI and do analysis this, I need to go and copy these and open Excel and do it right. So let's not do that way. We'll have a direct way. I can just ask him create an Excel file. I can simply prompt to the create file because agent will know how to do that because we have an instruction here. I'll show the instruction. We tell the instruction if he asks for an Excel file, it go to the code interrupter. It can't get directly. So it create a Python code for it. It read all the things and I got the PDF here. Before opening it, let me see what it does. So it went to the pandas automatically. Why? Because it's all in the Excel sheet. So it created a data frame. That whatever you saw in this data, you got a data frame. Then it created a data frame. Then it have a file path, element it mounted in the sandbox, and then it to Excel. So data frame dot Excel. If you have pandas, you know to do Excel will create the from the data frame to the Excel file and get the file path. See, it does the backend for me. So just I click it. So I got it downloaded here. Let me click it again. I'm opening the Excel sheet. See, you will see the Excel file is ready. So now you can do the Power BI or whatever you want further analysis. We can go and do it. So how quickly we can do without writing a single line of code at the back end. But you know to tell that action instruction, I will show that user is allowed to create Excel file. Otherwise, it will not able to create. So let's go back and see the instruction how to get this. Let's go back to here to my code. If you see my instruction here, you can clearly tell you can Excel is allowed. See here, data download. When asked for download data, default is CSV format. This is a core responsibility I'm clearly telling, which is supported. If you ask me to PPT, it won't do it. Because I need an agent to do that all. I can create a road and do it, but I'm allowing only for CSV to do it. So like that, you can keep extending the capability without making any change in the code which already pre-built. You just have to keep adding the instruction and build upon the solution based on your business use case. The agent will take care of the backend, not writing a single line of a code. All we have connected the agent to this to work. Okay, this is about the multilingual one. And the one final one about this important grounding with mixers of the competition. Okay, now everything we has done, our business is doing very well. I'm getting this much sales. So next question is how my competitors are doing. So how do I compare my business data with the competitors data and compare it together and see whether my price is too high or too low or on par with them. So one way is to go to the each competitor website, hit their button, go to their website and go and find it yourself and do it. Like lot of tedious work, lot of time waste, right? So let's do it. See how we can very quickly we can done with this using a Bing search. So for this, you need some setup. You have to go to the Azure AI portal, create a Bing setup. You have to pay for this. For there are number of tokens they will charge based on that. You have to go to Azure portal. And instead of time, I'm not showing it, but I'll share the end of the session. I will give the link. We can go there step by step. Clearly written. You can go and do this for yourself. So go get a Bing search point and get inside it and start talking to it so that your agent will have access to the Bing search. Bing search will be a tool now for now. Bing search is nothing but a tool to the agent you are providing we are providing to go and search it. So for that, I don't have a UI implementation, so I directly give a demo on the. I'll go the demo on the backend implementation. Okay, I don't have this one. So let me run the backend directly using function F5. This is my Visual Studio running on the code space. But since I don't have front end implemented yet, I'm showing in the backend actually, which I had done while testing it before I'm putting in the front end. So if we see here, let's go back to your computation steps of grounding. While it is running, while running, I'll show you the what actually it done grounding. See, so this is what you need to add. Same thing you have to add it in the your front end application and connect to the binge. It will work. Okay. So this is what I'm doing. Competitive insight from the product and category tool. So use the grounding with Bing search to provide the competitive insight for this my business. So you may return product names, company name, and prices from the competitor. A short product description I want. Only respond to the query related to outdoor campaign and say this is important. Otherwise, what will happen? I can go and ask the price of a burger or something. I want a price of the pizza of this pizza hut. So you should not go and get my pizza, right? But I'm not doing any pizza business here. My business is only an outdoor camping thing. So we are safeguarding and giving a securing that not only respond to only this queries. If somebody asks for the pizza burger, it will prompt reject. I'll show you. It won't go through. So we will filtering the results. See, without writing a single line of code, just with the instruction, how we are building the agent capabilities. Okay. So if it's not unrelated topic, you promptly respond. This question is not related to console. See, this is what you will get it if I try that. And never search more than 3 result. I can go with more by 10, 12 based on your business. You can make it 10, 12. See how many competitor are there. You can make it, but again, cost is involved. Remember, agent will go to Bing. The Bing will charge you based on the plan. You can see the plan how much the cost. So remember that while designing this the one, and ensure all results are concise, relevant, and direct address. So let's start check for the business one, Bing search. So what I will do is what are the beginner trends? See, beginner trends already in my rack. Okay, in my already the PDF document. So what are the beginner trends? Do our competitor cells include prices? Okay, so I'm putting it here directly, not in the UI because this is the backend directly I'm connected, not been updated so far. So let's see what will happen now. See, it went to the Bing search. Okay, but we went to Bing search and got the competition of 2025. See, here are some beginners sold by competitors. He's getting Camp Pro tent. This tent is idle for outdoor camping and giving all the information. And what is charge? $89 also they are given. See, and also it is a tent and what is a $100. So our real cop of because I got only three. This is the beginners result 279. Like that, see, without going to go and search for the competitors, I can got from the automatically Bing did the search job and give to me. This sensor population of beginners due to the reason user operator. This is my computation. So same thing I can take it to UI also, plot a graph of this. I can continue here and get it then also. Maybe it might, if I show a pie chart I think this region, I might get a timeout actually. Let's say this instead of time we'll show this one from here. So this is how we can get the computation data also. Okay, same instruction. If you put back to your UI, you should be able to get it. But currently, I'm not connected this into the Bing search. Hence, I'm showing it at the backend. I'll share this repository. If you may try this, I'll share this repository at the end of the session. You can try. So without writing a code, just adding this, I able to get it and connecting the Bing and connect the Bing search. In the tool I mentioned as a Bing search. If you go with the main edit by, I'm just adding a tool here. Just one more. I'm just putting search for the tool. It's in this instruction. It's in there in the sales data. I think as a terminal. So just you need to connect to the Bing. That's it. Yeah, correct. This is the all the definition. So just add a tool to it. I think it should be in main only. So just add a Bing search. Just add the tool. So you need a Bing grounding tool actually. We need a connection ID. You'll get a connection ID once you set up. Then you just add that actually. Just add the Bing and code, you should be all set. You do where you don't have to do it for that case, you just add an instruction and connect the Bing, it will work. This is through code I'm doing it. Without non-through code, if for this case you don't need a code, just add an instruction and connect to the Bing in the tool. Either you can go to directly here Foundry and connect a Bing, which I done already here for the Bing. See Bing search. Can you see here? I've did a Bing search here. Currently not done anything. I can go to the action, add, I can create a Bing. I can get a Bing directly. You can do either of the way you can do it. Do connect directly to the agent, it will automatically available here to the Bing search. So this is the what like step we can keep on going one by one by one. In my example, you see first I did a function calling, which actually did a dynamic SQL queries. Then we did a data validation. Then we did a file generation, that CSV file, what you saw, and a grounding with the Bing, which you saw in what you see, and also security best practices. So your make sure that your database is for security best practices. Make sure is the SQL database what you're querying should have the read-only access. Let's not put in the right access for sales data. Even if the user try to tamper it, it won't work because we have two levels of security. One in the injection also we can clearly mention no insert operation is allowed or the user should not any tamper the data. At the back end also we can make the database as a read-only, so that in by accidentally even if the LLM by somebody did a SQL injection or something, if it is not SQL injection, if somebody done a prompt injection also by even having the security, you bypass also, your SQL injection will taken care of the backend also. Ensure both the taken is very well. And also we saw multi-language support also. We did see the multi-language support. So this is the what actually topic of the comment. Good, we are on time, so we can take the questions about. I'll share these two links, which as the complete workshop document. You can try it. You can go to the samples. You can follow the instruction. Whatever I will show the demo, you can do the step by step. We can do it with your. It won't cost you much also to do that. You have a free account also. If you're in free tier, you'll get a free account. We can use that, and also on top of it, you can start building your own extra additional feature required. You can do everything available in the open source. It's available in Azure samples actually in GitHub. I'll share this link. With this, I think we'll move to the question and answer. So let me I'll stop sharing my screen. And with this, we can move to the question and answer. I'll put the comments actually. Okay, let's start the question now. Okay, I see that Azure AI Foundry is expensive when it comes to the individual and small measure just of hosting a fine tune. It charges the amount. Yeah, actually, okay, if you are a startup, if you're doing right, they do have a startup program. What actually my suggestion to go for, they'll give credits of around 5,000 or $8,000 if I remember correctly. So just put a startup credit initially. You can do the prototype, but you should have minimal, should have MVP ready if you want to do it. So again, it depends for XMP cost also. We can do one thing. One is you can apply for the credit for the business. Second thing, you put a cost. Just check the cost actually. And also depends on what you are doing it actually. If you take GPTVO for this demo, is last week also same demo I did. It cost me 100 rupees because the agents will do a lot of tokens to and fro. So definitely, the cost is involved. Depend upon the how much queries happening at the backend. You have to pay with the cost. You have to pay with the VM. The running that is common if you go to any of the cloud provider, right? So that is the one probably I think better you can connect with the people from the Azure and get the see how expert got how you can reduce your cost for your business. You might be asking the fine-tune model, but just asking the fine-tune model may not be charge you, but how much tokens in token also is matters, right? So, but probably you can check with them actually, check with the tool and see, and then you see from base and requirement, you put that in whatever required in Azure AI Foundry. Okay. And let me see I don't see any other question. Meanwhile, let me, do I want to, how to put a chat here because I need to connect to my YouTube. Okay. Okay. Let me put share this one. I need to connect to the YouTube for me, type in the answer. So if any other question, can type the question. Meanwhile, let me chat. I'll put a comment of the link which I have shared, which you can try. Okay. Let me put the chat. Okay, hopefully this is the link. This is the one. This comment has been failed to post as you develop comment. Okay, I cannot able to paste the link because don't have a permission. So probably I will ask the Was let's see. Let me put it in a private because I can't able to share the link. Probably what I can do, you can take a snapshot of that because I can't share the link. I'll share my screen. I'll share my PPT again. So please do take the snapshot of that. I only share that part and will answer the question. Okay, let me share only the present. I will only the slides I will present. So I'll upload the present. I will just show you. You can take the snapshot. Let me go to season of agents. It's a build first code agent. Okay. Yeah. So let me, it's uploading. One second. I will show the slide. Probably can take a snapshot. So any other comment you please then. Okay. One is I hope, Pranam, I hope I answered your question. I'm just uploading my slide so that you can take the snapshot of the link. Okay, let me present entire screen for time being because it's taking time. Okay, let me. Okay. Oh, thanks for the confirmation. So let me share my screen again. Okay, let me share the screen. I'll share the PPT. So I'll share the PPT here, so that'll be easy. Okay, so we can take the snapshot of this, the resource. Unfortunately, I cannot able to comment it, so I can take the snapshot. Yeah. So slides also I shared, and with the last slide I'm sharing it. So any other question regarding this, you can try it actually with your own on your interest of time. It won't cost you much. As I told you, it already cost me for multiple times I did a demo. It cost me 100 rupees of because of GPT 40 agent was in action. It won't cost much to try it out. You can also, one more thing, you can go for a cost, you can have a explore, you can go and set the budget limit. 5,000 rupees or 500 rupees or at 80% of this budget reaches to get information. So you can put a budget limit also so that you can be know exactly what the price is also. And by the way, this is my last, if you take it, then this is the LinkedIn. This is my LinkedIn actually, if you can connect with me, everything. I think that's all I have actually. I think we're on time correctly, exact at 11 o'clock. So let me say so Sudhanshu, so I think we can wind up actually, if no other question. Let me ping him. So thanks for joining. Unfortunately, I cannot able to share the comment, but share the links. I think that's it from my end. So I think we then probably will close the session for the day. Thank you. Thanks all for the joining. I will. Okay. Yeah. I think. Yeah.